I request Mrs. A. Karnasri of English Department, request you to start today's national level STTP on soft skills.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I think the participants are joining still. So before the commencement of the program, let's have a video promo of our BITS College, sir. Narayana, sir, could you please share the video, sir?
సాయంత్రం మేడం బాక్స్ ఇస్తుంది అది మనం లంచ్ పోయినప్పుడు
Narayana, sir, could you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Balaji Institute of Technology and Science, Wi-Fi enabled lush green campus spread over 80 acres. Highly committed doctoral faculty with research laboratories. First and only best engineering college securing highest placements in Telangana. 100% placement assistance with 250 plus students placed in 2017-18. Tie-ups with 100 plus companies to achieve 100% placements. Conducting guest lectures with IIT and NIT professors. For placement details, visit www.bitswgl.ac.in. Spacious and well-stocked library with national and international journal. Conducive academic environment with traditional approach. R&D lab for new innovation in engineering. Separate boys and girls hostels within campus. Choose BITS for assured placements. Balaji Institute of Technology and Science, Lakanapalli, Narsampet Road, Warangal.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Balaji Fraternity, I, A. Karunasri, coordinator of today's program, delightedly welcome Dr. A. Rajendra Prasad Reddy, chairman of Balaji Group of Institutions, Dr. G. Rajeshwar Reddy, sir, secretary of Balaji Group of Institutions, Dr. V.S. Hariharan, sir, principal of Balaji Institute of Technology and Science, Dr. V. Narayana, head of Humanities and Sciences Department and also the convener of today's program, Dr. P. Harikrishna, sir, today's resource person, Dr. V. Sudhakar Rao, sir, advisor of our department, Mr. A. Srinivas, sir, co-coordinator, heads of the departments, faculty friends, and all the participants for the inaugural ceremony of a short-term training program on propositions of soft skills and their relevances to life and academics, which is going to be on 15th, 16th, and 17th of this month. This program is being organized by Department of English from Humanities and Sciences Department. We are organizing this on the occasion of Engineers Day. We all know that in remembrance of Sir Mokshagundam Vishwesvaraya, the most outstanding engineer of all the times, the Engineering Fraternity of India celebrates Engineers Day every year on 15th of September. Some of his contributions as an engineering par excellence are He was the chief engineer during the construction of Krishnarajasagara Dam on the Kaveri River. Many dams were built by him in Bombay, and polytechnic institutes were also started. The block system was also invented. And besides all this, as a person, what was achieved by Sir Visvesvaraya was not as easy as it seemed, as it required strict discipline from his side. Punctuality, he was very famous for his punctuality and the perfect clothing. He was a fearless patriot. He's a perfectionist. That is, even a little task that he took up was almost always completed to perfection. And he was fitness at the age of 92, that he could do all his works himself, and he was completely dedicated towards the work what he was doing, and also courageous. So considering all this, we have planned a session on the topic human values and professional ethics today on this Engineers Day. Thank you. Now I request Dr. V. Sudhakar Rao sir, advisor of our department, associate professor of English, to present a brief report of our Balaji Group of institutions. Over to you, sir.
Yes. Thank you, madam. I deemed it a great pleasure to say a few points about Balaji Group of Institutions. The host college of this short-term training program is Balaji Institute of Technology and Science, which is in the close proximity of Warangal city. And this is one of the constituent colleges of Balaji Group of Institutions. A huge campus embodies all Balaji Group of Institutions. And besides this, a few colleges, degree colleges, junior colleges, and some schools, they exist in and around Narsanpet. The colleges that exist in our campus are Balaji Institute of Technology and Science, Balaji Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Balaji Institute of Management Sciences, Balaji Institute of Nursing, Balaji Institute of Education, degree colleges, Balaji junior colleges, and Balaji Techno Schools. So many technical courses and general courses are offered through our institutions. The Balaji Group is headed by eminent personalities who are the doctors by profession. They are Dr. A. Rajendra Prasad Reddy Garu, the chairman of the organizations, Dr. G. Rajeshwar Reddy Garu, secretary of the organizations, and we are really privileged to have the round-the-clock medical facilities because of this. And coming to the other merits of our college, that we have magnificent infrastructure with colossal buildings, state-of-art labs, separate hostels for boys and girls, a fleet of buses for transportation, and entire campus is Wi-Fi enabled round the clock, and so many other basic facilities are there. And coming to the BITS, with regard to academics, BITS was established in the year 2001, and it offers courses in civil, mechanical, CSE, ECG, and EEE. From this academic year onwards, we are offering degree technical courses in artificial intelligence and computer science and information technology, computer science and business system. Thus, and our college is accredited by NAC and MBA, thus making this college as one of the premier institutes in Warangal city. We have Dr. V.S. Hariharan at the helm of affairs as our principal, a very senior and senior most administrator and a guiding source for all the faculty and the students. With regard to our department, department is headed by Dr. V.S. Narayana, a very young and dynamic personality who has made our department to rise to the occasion a number of times. So the department was established in the year 2001, along with the establishment of our college. And we teach the subjects such as English, mathematics, physics, chemistry, environmental science, and gender sensitization. All labs pertaining to these subjects are established. And especially we have ELCS lab and AECS lab, that is the English language communication skills and advanced English communication skills labs, through which we impart all the knowledge related to communication skills, soft skills, and especially campus recruitment training. So we emphatically give priority to campus recruitment training, and we have special batches for preparation. And also, besides this, we also give training for TOEFL and IELTS examination and also GRE examination. So with this, I would like to end the brief description of our colleges. So thank you, madam, and over to madam.
Thank you, sir. Now I request convener of today's program and head of Humanities and Sciences Department, Dr. V. Narayana sir, to speak a few words on this inaugural session.
First of all, happy Engineers Day to all of you. Every year, our country celebrates September 15 as National Engineers Day to appreciate the contributions of Sir Mokshagundam Vishweswaraya, the Bharata Ratna awardee. On the eve of this Engineers Day, as from HNS Department, Balaji Institute of Technology and Science, Narsampet, we planned and organizing short-term training program on propositions of soft skills and their relevances to life and academics, today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. In this lockdown period, we have organized 4 national level programs. One is FDP, one webinar, 2-day webinar on physics, 2-day webinar on chemistry, and 2-day webinar on English. And recently also, we have organized National Education Policy 2020 by eminent professor. I congratulate today's coordinator, Mrs. Karnasri and Mr. A. Srinivas. They have planned a beautiful program and STTP, propositions of soft skills and their relevances to life and academics. Today we have an eminent speaker, Professor Harikrishna Garu is with us. He's a spiritual counselor and advisor. He wrote several books on human values. So today's topic, he will be delivered on a topic, human values and professional ethics. The subject that enables us to understand what is valuable for human happiness is called value education. Whatever the education, that is all the time job-oriented education. But it is necessary to know the value education, human values, universal human values, we can say. So really, we are very fortunate that today we have eminent speaker, and my sincere thanks to the management. Though our college located in rural background, but management all the time, they are giving support and valuable resources to organize all these FDPs. I am thankful to Chairman Dr. A. Rajendra Prasad Reddy Garu and Principal Dr. V.S. Aran Garu and Administrative Officer and all the HODs, and especially my dear faculty members for making this program to start this STTP. And we started sending invitations just 3 days back. On Friday, we started sending invitation. Till now, we received 1,140 registrations. Within these 3 days, we got a huge number of registrations. I am happy and I'm thankful to all the participants who have registered across India. I hope all you will enjoy the session by today by eminent Professor Harikrishna Garu from NIT Warangal. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Now I feel privileged to invite our Principal of Balaji Institute of Technology and Science, Dr. V.S. Hariharan sir, to voice his message to all of us.
Honorable Chairman of Balaji Group of Institutions, Dr. A. Rajendra Prasad Reddy Garu, and Secretary, respected G. Rajesh Reddy Garu, and resource person for this 3 days short-term training program on relevances of soft skills and life and academics. And today's session, resource person, respected professor and my friend, Dr. P. Harikrishna from NIT Warangal, and convener of this 3 days STTP program, Dr. V. Narayana, coordinators, Mrs. A. Karnasri and Mr. A. Srinivas, so, and participants. So very good morning to one and all. So first of all, I wish each and every participants a very happy Engineers Day. And present days, definitely more concentration is taking place on the human values and ethics, and which has become the part of our curriculum, which has to be inculcated in the students. Regarding this, even the AST is conducting so many programs on universal human values for the faculty, because first of all, it is required for the faculty, the various human values, and also the professional work, so the ethics required. So then only we can try to inculcate in the minds of the students. So in this connection, so really we are fortunate to have a person who got trained and even who wrote many books on these human values, that is a value education. So for the young leaders, so Dr. P. Harikrishna, professor from NIT Warangal. So we are fortunate to have him. And even tomorrow we are having Kalpana sister. So he is a part of a Raj Yoga meditation trainer and a motivational speaker. And on 17th, we are having another resource person, Dr. A. Chandramouli, principal RMG Arts, Commerce and Science College from Maharashtra. So we are thankful to all these resource persons for spending their valuable time with us. So, and also I appreciate the Department of Humanities and Sciences to bring out this wonderful STTP program in coincidence with the Engineers Day, so which is very much required nowadays for all the teaching professionals as well as for the students. So I thank Dr. V. Narayana, convener, for organizing this STTP program. Thank you. Over to Mrs. Karnasri.
Thank you, sir. Now I request renowned doctor and a remarkable person at Narsampet, Warangal, chairman of Balaji Group of Institutions, Dr. A. Rajendra Prasad Reddy, sir, to voice his message to all of us. Over to you, sir.
Respected today's guest, Professor Harikrishna Garu, and respected Principal Hariharan Garu, and other faculty and participants. Good morning, everybody. I'm really very thankful to Professor Harikrishna Garu for sparing his time towards our program. And really I'm very happy to hear you, sir. And also, Balaji Institute of Technology is grateful to the regular supporter regarding this ethical values and human values, who is supporting regularly. BK Kalpana Sister Garu from Raja Yoga Meditation Center, Narsampet. And really we are very thankful to the Raja Yoga Center. They are motivating our students, teachers, and faculty. And whenever we call, they are accepting our invitation. And also thankful to Chandramouli Garu. Really, I appreciate my faculty to arrange this program. It's very useful to everyone, teachers, students, everyone, regarding soft skills and this ethical values. And, and I wish all the participants and all the engineers a happy Engineers Day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, before welcoming our resource person to the session, let me introduce our chief guest. I feel privileged to introduce Hari Krishna sir. Hari Krishna sir trained professional in the domain of civil engineering in general and in the domain of geotechnical engineering in particular, and is an associate professor in NIT Warangal. Sir has a vast experience, that's of 27 years of teaching experience. Dr. Hari Krishna sir has conducted and attended many short-term courses. Sir also attended and organized many conferences and seminars. Sir has published a textbook titled Value Education for Young Leaders. He has also published various papers in national and international journals and conferences. Sir has guided many BTech and MTech students. He also guided and is guiding PhD scholars at present. Various research projects have been undertaken by Dr. Hari Krishna sir. He has held many administrative responsibilities in NIT Warangal. He has received many awards and honors. Few of them are awarded for his best papers in by Indian Geotechnical Society from New Delhi. He has received a Bharat Jyoti Award for his contribution to the society by India International Friendship Society. He has received the Best Citizen of India Award for 2019 by Best Citizen Publishing House, New Delhi. Sir has visited USA, Singapore, London, and UAE to attend and present technical papers. He got trained in R&D in the area of ground improvement methods in expansive soils at the University of Texas, USA. Sir is the reviewer for technical papers in ASCE and IGS journals and conferences. His principle is that the true value of human life lies not in the number of years one lives, but in the quality of one's consciousness and contributions. It's our pleasure to have Dr. Hari Krishna sir with us. Sir, now we shall proceed to the session on the title Human Values and Professional Ethics. Sir, Hari Krishna sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you. First of all, let me express my gratitude and privilege to be part of today's program, which is being organized at Balaji Institute of Technology and Sciences. A. Rajendra Prasad Reddy Garu, chairman of the group of Balaji Institutes, and the advisor Sudhakar Rao Garu, my friend Hariharan sir, and the head of the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, Narayan Garu, and anyway, the coordinator, Karunashri, and the participants, and all dignitaries. A very good morning to all. Of course, today is a auspicious day, being saying that we are celebrating Engineers Day on behalf of our Bharat Ratna, Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya. I feel privileged to be a civil engineer because he is also a good civil engineer, as many of you mentioned. He's really not a normal civil engineer, he's a good civil engineer. There is a lot of difference between a normal civil engineer and a good civil engineer. He is instrumental in many of the constructions of like dams, and as a person, he is a successful person. And he is one of the best persons of India as a nation also. He's a wonderful guru. And he lived a quite good amount of life, 1 or 2 years is not a small lifespan. He had such a wonderful lifespan, healthy life, because of some principles, some values, some ethics. His mindset was good and his thinking is nice. And because of this, he would be able to do so many things for the nations, including Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanams and routes and everything. He was a good part of that program. So today, on behalf of this one, in addition to engineer, we are all human beings. Lord has created this entire nature to be enjoyed by all the living entities, including humans. And as humans, we have to have some values. So today we will discuss for about 45 minutes to 1 hour. Sometimes I'll be taking little more time also. Please bear with me. Hopefully we'll complete by 12:30, so before lunchtime. Okay, first we'll think of what is this program of human values. I'll take the help of a PowerPoint. Hope this is visible, Karunashree Garu.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is
Yeah.
visible.
So now today we'll be having a small talk on human values and professional ethics, and we'll be discussing about these two things little detail. And as eminent people, one of the person whom I met in Chicago, USA, he is the person who came to India by walk from London. He walked from London to India just to explore the greatness of Indian country. As we are celebrating the Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya, one of the wonderful Bharat Ratna, similarly, this person has heard of wonderful people in India. He started flying from Chicago to London. From there, because he could not have money, he came by walk. He says in one of the meetings, if we actually want to make the world a better place and give joy and fulfillment to our students and empower them to give the same for others, we have to build the foundation of our education on human values. Please remember here there are 2-3 important words. Foundation for any building. As civil engineer, I am very much interested in having a good foundation. And as I did my master's and PhD in geotechnical engineering, a foundation is very, 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 very important part of the structure. If the foundation itself is not good, whatever building you may be having, 1 or 2 floors, 5 floors, 10 floors, whatever dam or anything will be at stake, at problem. So the foundation has to be good. So this eminent person says that our education has to have a good foundation based on human values. So we need this important parameter of human values. So let us spend a little time on education. The education is a process. It starts for all human beings, maybe at the age of 3 years or 5 years or 7 years, depending on their entry level. And it will go up to 25, 35, 40 till they complete their degrees, and lifelong also the education will continue. So it has basically 3 components. One is acquisition, then cultivation and dissemination of knowledge. Acquisition of knowledge, cultivation of the knowledge, and dissemination of knowledge. These 3 things are very important in education. For this education, we need to, of course, only humans have the facility of going for acquiring, cultivating, disseminating knowledge as living entities. No other living creature will think of education. We only have this facility. That is the greatness of humans. And needless to mention, life is education and education is life. There is no ending for this. There are so many people who are going for getting educated, getting their degrees, even at the age of 60 years, 70 years, 80 years also. So entire life goes on education. So this is the process to establish the right type of understanding powers, so that by certain age the individual should be able to acquire the necessary maturity to distinguish what is good, what is bad. And this is very important. We say that maturity level, as small guys, we are all very small in size, height and weight also when we were born from the mother womb. By taking some food, we increased our body height, body weight till teenage. After that, although we are taking same type of food, maybe same rice, dal, sabji, chapati, sweet, everything, but our body is not increasing after reaching a stage. Where that energy is going, the energy is not utilized for the physical body increase, but for the intellectual body increase. The mentality of the person, the intelligence of the person, that will be nourished, that will be cherished. And therefore, the maturity level starts from certain age. Therefore, people generally have this difference of thinking power of elders, thinking power of youngsters. All of us have kids who will be having different way of thinking at their teenage. They'll not be thinking like us because their maturity level is less. So we will be having such a stage. wherein we will be able to distinguish what is good, what is bad for every human being. As we mentioned, here we will be going for a particular case wherein we will be discussing about what is value. Many times we use this word value in two instances. If I consider anything, let us suppose I call any pen, whatever is there, the value of it, we generally say that in terms of its amount to be purchased. Maybe 5 rupees or 10 rupees. But there is another type of value of a human being, of a culture, of a good thing. So that is valueless. So here we have to understand what is value, what is valuable, what is valueless. When you think of a same pen, if at all it is maybe some company one, if it is having some refill in it, we'll call it as it's valuable. The same thing, if you remove that inside important part of refill or ink, it is valueless. Although it is from a standard company, if it doesn't have proper writing mechanism of it, it becomes useless. Similar is the case with pencil also. All of us use this. When that carbon lid is there, it is value. Without it, it is valueless. So the value of the any item is not by outer appearance or outer thing. The inside and important part of it is really important for us. That makes the item valuable. If that is not there, it becomes valueless. Similarly, even for us as living entities, as human beings, when we have certain element in us, that is, we call it as Atma, the living force. We are valuable. We will be given some importance. if at all, by chance, if that Atma leaves the body, we call it as dead, and our entire body becomes valueless. As we mentioned here, Narayan Garu is telling that because of this corona period now, because of this COVID time, our life got miserable. We are unable to go out just because of the reason that we may get affected with this virus of corona. And we are also struggling to save our lives. What for we are struggling? To save our lives. Saving our lives means we don't want to leave our body. We don't want to become dead. It's not a surprising thing that the same 70 kgs body, if at all there is no life force in it, it will be just a useless item just to be thrown to the nature. So all of us as human beings, not only as faculty members, as students, as living entities, and as social persons, we have to understand there is an important element in our body that is called Atma. If this Atma is there, I'll be able to speak, I'll be able to see, I'll be able to hear. So that is an important element which all the scriptures mention. You have to give, it's not that much useful for them. To give them good character, good morals, good values, good ethics, that is important. So for this personality development, every institute has some clubs, both for faculties and students. These clubs generally will be giving some entertainment for the students, and they'll be engaging in some extracurricular activities. And at this stage, we have to be able to understand, in addition to this, they have to be enlightened in their intelligence, and they have to get transformation to good citizens of India. As we have mentioned, Mokshagundam Vishwesvaraya, to be a good civil engineers, similarly, all the students of Balaji Institute have to be good citizens of India, good society people, like that. That is an important issue. So therefore, we will be taking up, even in NIT Warangal, we have around 30 to 40 clubs. Among them, there is a club called Center for Value Education. This Center for Value Education informs the students about this type of important aspects, which are important in addition to whatever branch of engineering you are learning. Yes, You spend some 60 to 80% of time in engineering, knowing engineering. In addition, you have to be human being first of all. Then only you can become a good engineer. So therefore, we have a Center for Value Education, wherein we will be informing them about various things. Just like 21st century, we have so many facilities, modern technologies available, good transportation, we have good communication system nowadays. Everyone is after one important thing, that is from morning to evening you will be having this one in our hand. Nowadays we cannot think of our lives without this mobile. Please remember, by the time you wake up, you will be touching, the first thing is maybe mobile, and till last minute before you sleep also will be touching this one. So this became a part of our life, and this is because of improvement in technology. Yes, we admire the technology, we admire the engineering, we admire the communication system, but this is not sufficient. There are so many people who are getting bad things also because of these inventions. So we may be thinking of entertainment, we may be thinking of life comforts, but there is some disadvantage part of it. Just like a coin has both heads and tails, so we will be having both advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantages that we are facing nowadays is pollution. Pollution in terms of environmental problems. Needless to mention, pollution has gone to such a level, we cannot expect good food without pollution, good water without pollution, good air, and this has come into our life also. Good without pollution, to get a good person also is difficult. Even good heart, good feelings person is becoming rare. So this pollution has entered inside the human beings also. So we have to think of good air, good water, good food, and then we will be getting good nature, of course, good heart, then we will be having good mind. So please remember that generally people conclude saying that technology has transformed every aspect. Yes, it benefited humanity immensely, but there are some intricacies in this. There is a wonderful book by Michael Renner. He says in his book, Ending Violent Conflict, that entire human history, if you take, the most violent century is 20th century, because there are a lot of problems, a lot of violence, a lot of wars are going on, there is a lot of terrorism, there is a lot of public unrest, and please remember, every year this constantly, steadily increasing. So we must remember this one. And even Time magazine, one of the topmost magazine in entire world, it says that major problems in the main present day society is crime and lack of morality. And as faculty members, our main aim is to see our students to get the knowledge of the degree whatever they are coming. In addition, we have to inculcate some good things in their minds, in their hearts, in their lives. So therefore, because they are going to be tomorrow's citizens, our important thing is we have to make them good citizens. If you take any country, even advanced countries like USA, the prison population is increasing, murders are increasing, and drug users, rape cases, suicides, all diverses, this is increasing like anything. Because we are habituated, even the kids before their teenage, they are watching so many things, because of which these all things are happening. Now a question comes, are we really advancing in actual right direction or going in wrong direction? So is that modern education has gone anything wrong? Then we have to understand why there is so much of chaos and confusion in society. And mind you, please remember, this is not because of illiteracy. Because all of us know that even though we are getting educated, and the countries like USA also, I was there in University of Texas at Arlington for a research project. There we could see so many people having so many issues. They are having a lot of facilities, but they have a lot of problems also. So at this moment of time, either personal level or natural calamities, life is getting lot of disturbance, lot of problems. So what is very important is, these two things are very important for any human being. Whether he is a principal or a faculty member or a chairman or a student, they have to have two important things, peace and happiness. And please remember, these cannot be purchased by any person. In the market, if you go, you may be getting anything and everything. With whatever amount you have, you can purchase anything and everything. Not These two things. These two things, peace and happiness, have to be felt and achieved by person impersonally. There is no other process available for this. So what we can do is, so for this one, what we have to do, we will think of. So education with ethics, morals and values is the only solution to this problem. So therefore, whoever wants these two important things, they have to have these things. And please remember, no university is answering the questions like this. You may be having so many subjects, but never we are telling who are you, why are you suffering, what are the reasons of suffering, who is God, and how to pray to God and perform some meditation. These things have to be given by the student. Of course, previous ages, our parents, our grandparents used to tell lot of stories, lot of morals, lot of values, lot of information that this person has done this thing. So these things, good things we have to learn. Nowadays, even that is not happening from parents and grandparents. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the faculty members to give such type of information to the students. So I wish to inform that in a nutshell, the overall purpose of education is to enable a human being to live a fulfilling life with a proper goal in life. Please remember, friends, these two important things: fulfilling life. Whatever you have in life, you have to fulfill as a person and have a proper goal in life. The goal has to be such a way that it is something good. I should not have a goal such a way that I will kill all the people in my colony or in my state, in my country. That is not the goal. You have to have good goals. So you have to have a proper goal in life and have to have proper fulfilling life for that one. So therefore, coming to the point, what we are supposed to do on this auspicious day, all the faculty members, whoever is attending this program, have to understand that there is a need of to train the students in terms of true happiness, how to have correct aspirations, and what is the real welfare, what you can do, and how to have proper character and lifestyle, and lastly, with good goals to achieve ultimate success. These 5 important things we have to teach our students. Now, at this stage, we should not think that how it will be useful for me. Please remember, when I visited a city called Chandigarh, I think all of you know about the speciality of Chandigarh city. It is the planned city. It is one of the planned cities in India. It is planned by an eminent army person. And when I visited the city, I could find that a caption saying that man shall build the city so that the city shall build the nation. So that the city shall build his sons. So please remember, I'll repeat, the man shall build the city so that the city shall build his sons. How you think that the city will be building my son? Yes, my son is a part of so many of his friends, either in the society, building, school. So if at all the people are wrong or bad, naturally our kids also will be coming like wrong way or bad people. So it is our aim to see that we will inculcate this mode of goodness. We have to inculcate these things for the students. And what are the types of education we have? We have formal education, just like we go to schools, we get a degree. Non-formal education, wherein we will be acquiring so many things by seeing, observing, knowing. And informal, whenever we speak with others also, just like elders, we will be receiving so many things. And lifelong education. Education goes on, adding delta x, delta x, delta x. And importantly, very significantly, value-based education. This value-based education is basically for the aim of to teach individuals what is really valuable to human beings. This is the very important thing, to teach the individuals what is really valuable to human beings. And this is all taking with the help of technology only. Technology with values is boon to the society, whereas without values, it is curse to the society. Simple like atom bomb. A bomb is really dangerous if it is used in a different direction. If it is used properly, it is useful. And similarly, human values and professional ethics in holistic manner is important. And the basic purpose of all scientific research, whatever we are doing, is only for the purpose of human happiness. Human happiness is very important. So therefore, the importance of value education is you will be teaching these 6 things. Who are you? Why are you suffering? Who is God? How to pray God? How to perform meditation? And how to be peaceful and happy in our lives. with this objective of what the student community will be able to do at the end of their education, which will clearly demonstrate that we are able to meet our aims. And there should be, after this value education, they should be having some behavior and observational changes, which are gross, along with attitude changes, which are subtle and may not be observable. You may be able to see their behavior in the class, behavior in the institute, behavior in the house, what all gross we can think of. And similarly, there will be some subtle behaviors, subtle changes, their thought process, their actual lifestyle, all these things will get changed. So we'll be having both the gross changes and subtle changes. And this value education really imparts some core values like integrity, discipline, and justice. Along with this, they will be developing some values in individuals. It can be physical values, emotional values, intellectual values, spiritual values, moral and aesthetic values. And this is basically to go for creating a holistic educational system. And by doing this, we'll be promoting values in society, leading to individuals and societal transformation. It is not that a single person will be changing. The society itself will be having a change. So this is the major benefit. There will be 10 major benefits for the students. They will be good in academics. They will be respecting elders. They will be living nicely with God and nature. And they will be thinking of having a life which is happiness to us and to others, and to appropriately behave in changing situations of good and bad times. Both will be coming in life. So they will be having how to behave properly in good times and also bad times, and to lay a foundation of habits and character to bring peace and happiness for them, and how Eastern culture is glorious for Vedic heritage, and to learn self-discipline and to become responsible, and very importantly, to be loved by all. This is very important. They will be loved by all. Even for administration, college administration also, you can think of what benefits that they will be having as administration, because students will become well mannered and grateful to the college. They'll be good alumni of the institute. They'll be doing a lot of contributional things for the society and to the institute, and there will be proper ambience in the campus without much of clashes and fights, and even ragging menace can be reduced, and there will be good amount of friendship among the students, and the students will become respectful, and they will be participating nicely in all cultural festivals, and very horrible way of they will be behaving suicide attempts, that will be reduced. And naturally, they will be having good dedicated faculty because of this type of students, and there will be good teacher and student relationship that will be taking place, and there will be proper knowledge transfer between faculty and the students. And importantly, the recognition of the school and college, university will be increased because of good feedback both from students and from organizations and parents. This is very important. So coming to the inside part of it, what we are discussing, first of all, they will be knowing who am I. I may be having a body, but this is gross body. There is another invisible body that is there inside, which will be having two things. So whenever I have this gross body has something inside, that is subtle body, inside which we have this soul. Just like we all will wear some dresses. Apparently, I may be having a shirt, white color shirt. Inside, I may be having a banyan, that is called inner wear. Inside, I have my body. Similarly, all the living entities has a part called soul. The soul is covered with the subtle body, which will be having mind, intelligence, and ego. As such, the soul is Satchidananda. When we call Satchidananda in Sanskrit, it is having full of bliss, full of knowledge, and it is full of eternity. And this will be first covered with three things: mind, intelligence, and ego. So in the outer stage, that gross body has earth, water, fire, and ether. We may be giving importance for the gross body, forgetting about the subtle body and soul. Just like I can give an example. If you purchase a parrot, cage for a parrot, if at all you are putting this parrot in a cage and you are decorating the cage rather than caring about the parrot inside, naturally parrot will die within no amount of time. So rather than giving importance more for the cage, you have to give importance for the inside important parrot. Similarly, we also have to give importance to the soul which is inside, which is very important. So therefore, we have to understand first of all that our soul is just having two coverings. One is subtle body, the other one is gross body. And we will be mostly controlled by this subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego. And therefore, we'll be having so many issues. Some persons may be having some study problems, health problems, emotional issues, nutritional issues. All these things will be there. This will be having all the stages, either physical level, mental level, or intellectual level. So we have to understand that we are not human beings with a spiritual experience, but we are spiritual beings with a human experience. We have that spiritual being, that is nothing but the soul which is there inside. So this soul is having a covering of the human body. This age we are in human body. Next life we may be in a different living entity. It can be and among these three, mind, intelligence, and ego, mind plays a lot of importance. And this mind, if it is controlled, it will be your best friend. If it is not controlled, that is called uncontrolled, it will be your enemy. It will not be hearing in any of your words. It will be doing all its activity on its own. So therefore, either the mind can be a good friend or it can be a greatest enemy also. So therefore, in some scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, it is being said that for him who has conquered the mind, mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So therefore, please remember, many of us have seen the advantage of staying with your friends who are well-wishers. If you are staying with your friends, your life will be very comfortable. If you are living with your enemies, we don't know what will happen next moment, what problem is going to come. So therefore, don't make your mind as an enemy. Try to make the mind as your friend. So therefore, solution for all the problems, majority of the problems in life is our controlled mind. If you are able to control the mind, you will be having solution for major problems. So before understanding the mind, let us answer the fundamental question as we discussed just now. Who am I? When I say who am I, somebody will be asking, sir, who are you? I should not say that. Of course, I will be generally saying that I am Dr. Hari Krishna, faculty member of NIT Warangal, staying at such a place. Yes, this is my answer. And naturally, we have to ask sometimes intricately, intellectually, the questions like, am I this body? Am I this hair? Am I this hand? Am I this coat? Am I this knife? Who am I? I am. Who is that I? Please remember, I'm saying that this is my hand. Who is that my? This is my body. Who is that my? So that is important. So that I is nothing but, that me is nothing but the presence of the soul. So if it is easy to point to your eye or nose, but can you point to your holy self? It is not possible. And as you can see, any car, any mobile, any vehicle cannot run, move an inch without driver. Similarly, any person, any human also cannot function without its driver, that is soul. Of course, it is explained clearly using this chariot. As you can see, this chariot is having 5 horses. 5 horses are being controlled with this ropes. We will get to twigs, So these tags will be controlled by person who is controlling the chariot. So these 5 horses represents our 5 senses, that is eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Whereas the mind is represented by this controlling ropes. And as a person, if the intelligence of the person is good, if the strength of intelligence is good, it will be able to control these ropes, this mind. And if you are able to control the mind, naturally 5 horses will be in your control. If 5 horses are in your control, the person who is traveling in this body, the soul, will be comfortable. So therefore, we have to see that our intelligence is strong enough to control these ropes, that is mind. If the mind is having that strength, it will be able to control the senses. If the senses are under control, you will be happy. As a person who is living in the body, you will be happy. So please remember, I have to make my mind friend, and I have to have strong intelligence. Intelligence to control the mind. The mind may be telling so many things to the intelligence, saying that we'll go for this, we'll do this, we'll purchase this, we will eat this, we will drink this. But intelligence has to take a decision saying that this drink is not good for your health. This food which was prepared maybe yesterday or day before yesterday, this is going to cause this type of problems. So this place is dangerous. Like this, intelligence has to tell the mind. Then mind will be under control. So this is the wonderful example everyone has to understand. Now coming to the role of the mind, as we discussed, it can be our friend or it can be your enemy also. So now a question arises, is knife good or bad? Many times we will be getting this type of questions. Is knife good or bad? It depends on the circumstance and the person who is using this one. If this knife is in a surgeon's hand, it can save a life. And the same knife, if it is with the any wrong person, any miscreant using that one, it can be killing the person also. It is not the mistake of the knife. It is with whom it is being attached to. If it is in the right person's hand, it is doing a great activity of saving a life. Whereas if by chance, if it is coming to the hand of a wrong person, it is ending a life also. Similarly, a mind is not a good or bad thing. It can be good if you train it to be good. And all of us will be having so many stages. And please remember, when we are in the mother's womb, we are so small, tiny, and we are not even comfortably sitting or standing. We are in arch bend form. 9 months we are like this, and we are in liquid state. You know, we were floating in liquid, and we are unable to aspire properly. Still we lived comfortably 9 months, and we took a life, and we will be becoming old. And when we become old, we cannot even walk comfortably. We cannot do our activities properly. We cannot sit when we are in standing position, and when we are sit, we cannot come to standing position. That will be horrible stage we will be having. So, and then we will be going for a stage called death. When many people will be saying, what is death? And sometimes people will not relish the word death also. But whether you agree or not, whether you require or not, whether you like or not, whether you want or not, this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, this is a cycle. Once we take birth, we have to become old, we will be getting diseased, and then we will be getting death. And this is a real problem for anyone. Nobody wants to have white hair. Nobody wants to have old body. Nobody wants to have wrinkles on their face. They want to be ever young. But it is not possible. Even at the age of 60 or 70, you may be doing so many makeup things outwardly, but inside your health knows, your body knows that you are deteriorating. This will happen. This has to happen. And whenever we leave the body, we call it as he passed away or she passed away. Who passed away? The body is there at that place itself. The same 60 kg, 70 kg body is there. Who passed away? The soul has passed away. So this passing of the soul makes the body, whether it is usable or non-usable, whether it is valuable or valueless. And needless to mention, once that soul has gone out, this cannot do any function at all. It will be almost zero. It will not be doing any activity at all. So we have to know about that valuable soul part of it. And this soul, which is called Atma, has to think of Paramatma, that is the Lord. So even William Leibniz, he says that he is the infinitesimal calculus founder. He says that in God there is power, which is the source of all, also knowledge, whose content is the variety of ideas, and finally will, which makes changes or products according to the principle of the best. Whatever is best for you, God will be giving. Even our Srinivas Ramanujam, he says, he is a wonderful mathematician. He says, an equation for me has no meaning unless it represents a thought of God. So we have to understand that this soul, which is called Atma, is a part and parcel of Paramatma, that is Supreme Personality of God. We call it as God, generator, operator, and destructor. So unless otherwise we have equation and relation with God, we will not be able to relish and cherish this wonderful item in our body, that is Atma. So even just like wonderful paintings, if we could go for even Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, and as you can see, there is a John Green has gone for such a wonderful live photographs, drawings. These are all artistic. Who is done behind them? There is an artist. For all arts, there is an artist. Similarly, for all the great things in our body, there is a very wonderful creator. Even the research in the Department of Artificial Intelligence in MIT, USA, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, they say that human brain is such a wonderful design. This is the most sophisticated computer in the entire universe. You don't have such a wonderful computer anywhere in the entire world that is like human brain. It has such a wonderful connecting mechanisms, storage mechanisms, retrieving mechanisms, starting and ending. So many good things are there in this human brain. Who has made this brain? It is the nature. It is the God. So we have to understand the power of nature, power of God. So human brain is such a wonderful thing which was created by the Lord or God. So the human brain can store more information than all libraries in the world. This is taken granted. It has such a wonderful hard disk. It can store like anything. And very importantly, this human brain is made of trillion brain cells. And each one of these is more powerful and sophisticated than computers around the planet today. This is the comment by Dr. Tony Buzan. He is a British psychologist, and he's also educator and author. He says this. So therefore, we have to understand such a powerful thing in ours. But what we are getting addicted to, we are getting addicted to so many habits, and we are getting enslaved. Although I have such a wonderful brain, such a wonderful intelligence, I am just becoming a slave. Slave for what? To the wrong habits, bad habits. And the power of habits is to make you enslaved. Unless otherwise I do this, I'll not be able to sleep. Unless otherwise I'll be, I have to have this, I'll not be able to live. So this gives a false conception of reality, makes us non-receptive to good counseling also. And please remember, we need not follow the majority. Majority of the people, if they are going in wrong direction, unknowingly, whether they know what repercussions they are going to have, just they are walking wrong direction. But if you know the correct path, go in the right way. Right way will lead you to the correct destination. Please remember, the right way will lead you to the correct destination. You may be alone in the right way, but you are going to reach the actual goal. So therefore, there is a possibility, and we have to inform our students, our kids, that they have to cultivate good habits rather than bad habits. And many of us are after these two important things, success and failure. Everybody wants success in their life, but always success is not possible. Sometimes failures do come. Just like any game, you will be having one team winning, one team have to lose. Just like we take last World Cup, in the final, we had New Zealand and England. So although the scores are same, we have to say that one team is successful and one team is failure. So like this, we will be having success and failures. In life also, I don't know whether you'll be able to see this video. Sir, is this audio coming for you, sir? Narayan Garu?
Yeah, sir. Audio.
It's coming?
Now it's not, sir.
It's not coming?
Only your voice is audible. Your voice is audible.
1 minute. I think I have to, as sir has mentioned last time,
Narayana sir, could you once say to Hare Krishna sir regarding screen sharing?
Okay.
Sir, have you included any video in this slide, sir?
Yeah, I thought of having a video in the slide itself. Okay. Okay, I'll just play that video separately. Is it okay?
That would be better, sir.
Yeah. So before sharing, I have to go for new share and share computer sound and then go for the video.
Yes, sir.
Now, are you able to hear it, sir?
I was 18 years old when I got married.
Is this audio coming?
A very conservative family, a Baloch family, where good daughters never say
No, sir. Once could you open that, sir? We are able to listen to the voice of the video.
All I said was,
Not video is not coming?
No, sir. No, sir. It's not appearing on the screen.
Never a happy marriage.
Okay. 1 minute then.
You select the video, connect to audio, then share, sir.
So select the video, okay.
You enable that option. Then you click share.
So first I have to go for the video. Share screen.
I was 18 years old when I got married.
Okay.
I belong to a very conservative family.
I think
where
video is not coming.
Yes, sir. Video is invisible, but it's audible.
Okay. So it seems
I was 18 years old when I got married.
Perfect, sir.
It's coming, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
18 years old when I got married.
Now it is coming?
I belong
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible and audible.
Yeah. This is the story of a person. She is from Pakistan and she had so many problems in life, and how she made her life more valuable. Let us see the views and her experiences.
No to their parents. My father wanted me to get married. And all I said was, if that makes you happy, I'll say yes. And of course, it was never a happy marriage. Just about after 2 years of getting married, about 9 years ago, I met a car accident. Somehow my husband fell asleep and the car fell in the ditch. He managed to jump out, saved himself. I'm happy for him. But I stayed inside the car and I sustained a lot of injuries. The list is a bit long. Radius ulna of my right arm were fractured. The wrist was fractured. Shoulder bone and collarbone were fractured. My whole rib cage got fractured. But that injury that changed me and my life completely was the spine injury. Many people came to rescue. They gave me CPR. They dragged me out of the car. And while they were dragging me out, I got the complete transection of my spinal cord. Those 2.5 months in the hospital were dreadful. I was at the verge of despair. One day, doctor came to me and he said, well, I heard that you wanted to be an artist, but you ended up being a housewife. I have a bad news for you. You won't be able to paint again. Next day, doctor came to me and said, your spine injury is so bad, you won't be able to walk again. I took a deep breath and I said, it's all right. Next day, doctor came to me and said, because of your spine injury and the fixation that you have in your back, you won't be able to give birth to a child again. That day, I was devastated. I started to question my existence. Why am I even alive? So what kept me going was, one day I asked my brothers, I know I have a deformed hand, but I'm tired of looking at these white walls in the hospital and wearing these white scrubs. Bring me some colors, bring me some small canvas. I want to paint. So the very first painting I made was on my deathbed, where I painted for the very first time. What an amazing therapy it was. Without uttering a single word, I could paint my heart out. I could share my story. People used to come and say, what lovely painting. So much color. Nobody could see the grief in it. Only I could. And that day I decided that I'm going to live life for myself. I am not going to be that perfect person for someone. I am just going to take this moment and I will make it perfect for myself. That I'm going to fight my fears. So I wrote down one by one all those fears. And And I decided that I'm going to overcome these fears one at a time. You know what was my biggest fear? Divorce. But the day I decided that this is nothing but my fear, I liberated myself by setting him free. And I made myself emotionally so strong that the day I got the news that he's getting married, I sent him a text that I'm so happy for you and I wish you all the best. And he knows that I pray for him today. Number 2 was, I won't be able to be a mother again. And that was quite devastating for me. But then I realized this is my plan. It should go as per my plan. If that doesn't happen, we give up. I never wanted to be on the wheelchair. Never thought of being on the wheelchair. This life is a test and a trial, and tests are never supposed to be easy. So when you are expecting ease from life, and life gives you lemons, then you make the lemonade, and then do not blame life for that. It is okay to be scared. It is okay to cry. Everything is okay, but giving up should not be an option. They always say that failure is not an option. Failure should be an option, because when you fail, you get up, and then you fail, and then you get up, and that keeps you going. Embrace each and every breath that you are taking. Celebrate your life. Live it. Don't die before your death. Real happiness lies in gratitude. So be grateful, be alive, and live every moment.
So this is what I thought of sharing from this video, that life will be having some situations wherein you will be having some problems also. It is not that every moment I'll be successful. Therefore, please remember, success and failures may happen simultaneously as a part of the life. And be ready for the failures also. Now, is this coming, sir? PowerPoint again?
Yes, sir, it is coming, sir.
Yeah. So we have to be understanding that in cricket we will be having sometimes this type of situation wherein we will be having the player hitting like anything, aggressive, but sometimes we need defense also. In life also, there will be sometimes where you will be striking nicely, sometimes we may have to defend our life also. So please be ready for both shots. And this type of habits makes the mind feel life is good with this. Just like a smoking habit, it makes the people not good for you. Your parents doesn't like this. You may become addicted to it. So like this, intelligence has to tell. Similarly, the mind may feel so many things. I think it's just fun. Everything is doing it is. But the intelligence has to tell, you fool, why you want to hurt yourselves by this bad habit, which wastes money, ruins your good health, may cause you cancer in long run. So like this, intelligence has to tell to the mind. If mind is stronger, it will win. If the intelligence is stronger, it can resist the temptations. Please remember, always the intelligence has to have that power of overcoming the mind power. So therefore, please remember, the choice is yours. It will mold your futures. Life is made of choices. Yes, choices decide your future. Please remember, habits activate our choices. You have to have intelligence that you will be having good habits. For that one, you have to have improved your spiritual quotient. Spiritual quotient will come by praying to God and by going for meditation. There are so many methods that are available. Whether he is a Hindu or a Muslim or Jain or Christian, we have so many ways of prayers. Please follow what all prayers have been specified for you. Please follow the scriptures, what they have given you. Please read them and go for this type of meditation, which will make the connection with the God. And there can be so many types of meditation. You can go for any type of meditation to cool your mind, to improve your intelligence. And on this topic, we have written some publications also in journals, the importance of value-based education in higher institutes. And it is being published in good journals. And we will be doing so many wonderful programs for just like we are doing now. We will be going for South Central Railway. We will go for national youth programs. And the director, NIT Warangal, was so happy that we have conducted such type of youth programs. And based on this, we have written a book also, Value Education for Young Leaders. This book, this is released by the DGP of Maharashtra, who is also alumni of our institute. The director, N.V. Raman Rao Garu, Dean, Registrar, and all were there for the release of the this book. And this has some 10 topics, along with lighting up values, ethics, true friendship and love, and of course, dealing with habits, how to deal the stress, how to manage your time, how to empower yourself as a self-empowerment, and how to become a good leader. And what is the importance of Indian culture? This is what we thought of having in this book. And there are so many newspaper clippings also. And I have received some awards for this Value Education Best Citizen Award and Bharat Jyoti Award. And particularly, I wish to inform you that there is some central government itself has come with MHRD saying that the students of central government institutes, central higher educations, why they are committing suicides and how to control this. What are the mechanisms for this control of suicides? And let me tell you here, all of you have to understand one thing: no living entity will think of committing suicide. No cat will do this, no dog will do this, no rat will do, not an even elephant or anything, no, nothing. Only humans will be doing this. Because the thought process is so horrible, they'll be thinking that there is no other go for me other than ending the life, which is not correct. At that time, they have to have some spiritual instructions, which makes them come out of that problem. And sir, is this audio video coming now?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. Visible and audible. Yes,
very
sir.
good. This is a clipping from a movie called Dangal. I think all of us are very fond of movies, and this particular movie made by Amir Khan based on the real story which happened in India, Haryana. So this is a movie wherein he trains his daughters to become good martial arts players, and at the last minute when she is facing this final with Australia, on that final moments, you know, what will happen, we will see. Then we will discuss this. The final is going to end, and although she tried her best, her attack was taken advantage. Please remember, many times it happens in many of our lives. We will be at the verge of failure. We know that it may not work upon. We may fail, but at that moment, the best of instructions should come to our mind. Here, the instructions of her father is going to come to our mind, not the trainer, although she got trained in a wonderful academy. So like this, we'll be having so many situations wherein we have to come out of the problems. Please remember, at that time, the instructions of our parents, instructions maybe from grandparents and gurus, no, they will be coming into our mind. They have to come in our mind. And one great professor, R. Pradeep Kumar from IIIT Hyderabad, he has done a lot of investigations on his students at IIIT Hyderabad for 10 years, how these human values are important. And we have good amount of literature on these human values and professional ethics. And of course, as time is running out, I may not be able to go for entirely. Ethics are also very important. These are nothing but set of principles which will impart the sense of purpose. And they are required for the civilization of any society. From the dawn of civilization, maybe from ancestral age, ethics are followed at different levels, and which will influence the culture, religion, along with spiritual wisdom. And as we started our talk to distinguish between right and wrong things in life, and developing this righteousness, thoughts and actions, living in the mode of goodness and doing good for the sake of benefit of humanity. This is very important. And therefore, we have to understand that ethics are available at different levels. Either personally, I have personal ethics, interpersonal ethics, educational ethics, professional ethics. At whatever stage I am, I have to think of this ethics, which are very important. And please remember, the values we have are the real valuables. And please understand, the one has to realize that happiness in humanity brings not only on the type of valuables they possess. I may be having such a luxurious car, bungalow, so many advantages, but I may not be happy. But on the type of values you have, that makes you happy. It is based on one basic fact that values we have will shape how we use our valuables, and which depends on happiness. So MHRD has taken a lot of initiatives in this regard. They are doing a lot of induction programs, faculty trainings, and they are doing faculty conferences also. Even in NIT Warangal, even during a Youth Fest also, we have invited so many wonderful speakers to speak on this type of values and morals. And we even have gone to Guru Gobind Singh Institute of Engineering and Technology, Nanded, wherein we have established a club there, MOU, just in similar terms of NIT Warangal, wherein we are doing so many activities there. So this is what I thought of sharing with you all. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir. Narayana or Madam, Karunasri Madam.
Yeah, sir.
Of course, it's exactly 12:31. We could complete in 1 hour, Madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We are really grateful for the time you had for us, sir. Out of your busy schedule to address to our participants, the session is really informative, and I hope everyone has enlightened and impressed with the session of the topic entitled Human Values and Professional Ethics. Honestly speaking, your delivery was so engaging that we lost all the track of time. By any measure, you are an effective speaker and educator. Your illustrated talk made it all come alive for us. And if we look towards this YouTube chat box also, the messages were really flooded with texting the messages, like very insightful session, inspirational session, shared inspiring thoughts, thought-provoking examples, excellent session, wonderful session, and wonderful videos that were played by you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Sir, can we go on with the question and answer session, sir?
Yes, please.
2 participants have posted the questions here. One question is from MD Riaz, PhD research scholar from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. His question is, what is preconditioning in human values?
Yeah, very good question. I really appreciate. Conditioning is nothing but you are bounded and binded. Every human being will be having some culture, what he gets from his parents, from his family, from his society. If at all you are doing only that activities, then you are conditioned for that. Naturally, we have to elevate ourselves. There are 3 types of gunas every human being will be having. In scriptures, it is being said that mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. And if at all you are cultured in one type of guna, you should not be at that level. You should come to higher level. So people say that if you are in Tamoguna, it is like an animalistic life, just eating, sleeping, mating and defending. That thing only will be happening. You will not be coming for any discussions like this. Spiritual discussions will not happen at all. So therefore, if you are preconditioned saying that I will be living like this only, then you will not be elevated. Please remember, there is so much of information available, but the transformation is important. Transformation to become a good person. When I call any person as good person, when you are not harming any other person. Any other person means it can be human, it can be animal, it can be any living entity. So therefore, please remember, if you are doing those activities which were already there in your mind without improving further, just like from primary school, you have to come to secondary school to college level, professional level, like that you have to improve. For that one, acquiring knowledge is important. Cultivating knowledge is important. And utilizing that knowledge for the benefit of the society is important. Please have that habit of coming out of preconditionings. Like, this is the only thing that is available. No, there is something also available. You have to go out of the house to see the nature. You have to come out of your restricted area to see the bigger things. I'll give an example. Assume that there is a frog in a well. By chance, if it comes and meets a frog from a sea, And this frog from ocean, if at all he says that I am from such a place, such a ocean, the frog in the well may be understanding the ocean to be the size of a well. And if she compares, asks the frog from the ocean saying, is the ocean bigger than this well? Naturally, it is very thousands of times bigger. Unless otherwise, that frog from the well has to come out and see the ocean. Frog from the ocean cannot describe the size of the ocean when compared to well. So we also have to come out of these type of jurisdictions to know good things, know best things. We all have so many wonderful scriptures available. We have to study them, understand them, cultivate them, and use them. You give the same knowledge to your kids and students and make them good citizens. Society needs good people, please. At this juncture, we need only good health. Please remember, in this corona period, I don't know how many of you are thinking, aspiring good things. Many of us, if at all a day starts, we'll be thinking that at least it has to be good day for me. When I'll be saying good day, if I don't have any problem with corona symptoms. So that has become the situation. Similarly is the case. Our life and life conditioning has to come out to see goodness flourishing in the society, and the society will be good. Nation will be good. If the nation is good, naturally world will be good. Hope it will answer your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. One more question from Vijay Lakshmi, sir. Vijay Lakshmi, madam. How to inculcate these values in the students? Many times they don't listen when we start lecturing about values and ethics.
Yeah, really, it's a $1 million problem, and every teacher will be having this problem. Madam, I have a sincere, Vijay Lakshmi Garu, I have a sincere request to you. Generally, kids also, if you tell them, as parents, if you tell them good things, if you are not following them, they will not give any regard to the parents also. Simple example. I'll take a simple example like going to the class at the correct time. Assume that your class is at 11 o'clock. When you expect your students to be regular, punctual, you have to be regular and punctual to the class. If you take 11 to 12 class correctly, and naturally you can expect them also to follow that value. And please remember, if at all you have the habit of helping someone, so naturally you can expect your students also to inculcate that habit. So these type of values, frankly, has to be revealed to the students, and naturally they will not be taking that one wholeheartedly, but there will be a stage, there will be an occasion, just like as I have informed using these videos, I may be taking the help of a movie, but my intention is to give that instruction that we have to get these type of instructions from our seniors. Whenever we are in critical times, these things has to happen. Even if you are able to do one small activity like this in a day, in a week, madam, each step will make you to reach the goal. You may be having 10-storied building. First of all, you have to start with a step. You have to take up that step. Yes, student doesn't like this. If at all you call a movie actor, all the students in the institute will be coming for the program. They may not be speaking any good thing, just to see the bodily features of the film actor, they will be coming. But if you call a trainer, a spiritual minded person, they may not come because they don't want it, because they don't know the value of it. You have to tell them simple terms, simple examples, simple videos and chats that will be inculcated, madam. It has to be very, very difficult, but we have to start at some point. The college also has to feel it. Now the government of India is doing this in all IITs and NITs because of the problem that the values have to be inculcated at any point of time. In the first year, when they come to the institute, 2 weeks, no classes, no labs, only this type of information about the values. And let us be very clear, out of the 900 or 1,000 boys, students who are coming to the institute like NIT Warangal, there may be only 10 or 20 or 50 or 100, but at least that are important. That type of good students are important. If at all you start up something, naturally they will join, madam. We have some programs like this, and we will be giving some talks, and maybe slowly they will be taking up this, madam. Hope it is okay, Vijay Lakshmi garu.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for answering to the questions posed by our participants very patiently with examples. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Over to Narayana, sir, convener of today's program and head of the Department of HNS.
My sincere thanks to today's resource person, Professor Harikrishna Garu, for your nice lecture on universal human values and professional ethics. Really, sir, whatever the topics which you covered, these are very essential. So-called, we have been concentrating on good education, but no one concentrating on value-based education. Today, you touched it, sir. And whatever the examples which you have taken, those are very live. And most of the participants, those who are watching from the YouTube, they mentioned that nice session, informative session, valuable session, like that's a really first time. We have, from our college, we have organized around 15 plus programs, apart from the H&S department. So today, most of the participants, they have given very nice feedback. Pen without ink, how it is valueless. Pen with ink is valuable. Though it is seems to be simple, but you uttered and given the nice example of valuable and valueless. That is very interesting. And who are you? Why are you suffering? Who is God? How to pray to God? How to perform meditation? How to be peaceful and happy in our lives? That is the main essence of life. Whatever we do, whatever the job, whatever the profession which we are doing, ultimately, let us be happy. Let us continue our happiness. So that comes in this professional ethics, really, you have, and whatever the examples, videos you visualized when there was no hope to that lady, but how she survived with that paint, that everyone felt very happy with that video, and that Amir Khan's video also you given. Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful talk. Hope all our participants, they were very happy. Thank you, sir. On behalf of Humanities and Sciences, Balaji Institute of Technology and Science, Narsampet, wholehearted thanks to you, sir, for accepting our request. I know, sir, you are giving counseling spiritually. One side you are doing your profession, and apart from you are giving services to the world who are in need, who are broken families, and also you are giving nice advices to them, sir. Thank you, sir, for your nice session. Already coming to the participants, as we have planned 3 days STTP, hope my screen is visible, right?
Yeah.
All right, sir. So today, as a part of a schedule, today we have Professor Harikrishna Garu from NIT Warangal, and this is the second day. Is it visible, second day?
Yeah.
Yes,
All right. Tomorrow we'll have a speaker, Sister BK Kalpana Garu, Raja Yoga Meditation Center, and also motivational speaker, Brahma Kumaris. So tomorrow she will be addressed on soft skills, positive reflections, and day after tomorrow, the last day, by Dr. A. Chandramouli Garu, Principal, RMG College, Savoli, Maharashtra. He will be delivered on soft skills, positive reflections. So I request all the participants, you please join tomorrow and day after tomorrow. At the end of the day, third day, we will post the final feedback link followed by certificate. The moment you fill it, immediately you will receive your e-participation certificate. I request Advisor of Humanities and Sciences, Dr. V. Sudhakar Rao Garu, you conclude the session by giving vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to propose vote of thanks. It's really a very wonderful lecture. A lot of feedback has been given by Madam and our HOD Narayan sir regarding the discourse. But anyway, I would like to put the thing in my own words. Thank you, Professor and Dr. P. Harikrishna Garu, for a wonderful discourse. It was really very thought-provoking, enlightening, and highly motivating. Right. It started with some basic description of the Vishweshwaraya, Mokshaguna Vishweshwaraya and Radhanta Swami. From that onwards, it has gone up to the differences between valueless and valuable things and all. And then the most important thing that we have learned is about the purpose of education and the role of academicians. So that is the most important point for us. And the crux of the entire discourse was, I hope, it was about how to train and control our mind. That has been given wonderfully. And it was really an amazing discourse and amazing fluency of the language. We are really wonderful and wonderful in illustrations to give the concepts through all the slides and video clippings. And I think at the bottom, at the end of the day, the bottom line for all of us is live every moment and rise to the occasion. So that's what we have learned from your lecture, sir. We are really grateful to you. And at the same time, I would like to thank our chairman, sir, Dr. A. Rajendra Prasad Reddy Garu, and our secretary, Dr. G. Rajeshwar Reddy Garu, and our beloved principal, Dr. V.S. Hariharan Garu, and our head of the department, dynamic Dr. V. Narayana Garu, and the wonderful coordination by our faculty members, Srimati A. Karunasri Garu, and Mr. A. Srinivas Garu, and all the participants for looking into this and for having enough knowledge through this particular discourse on the soft skills. So thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anandal. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
So we'll leave the meeting?
Narayan sir.
Yes, sir. We'll close this meeting. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time with us.
Thank you, sir.
With this, we'll close today's session.